So I don't know if you're team apple or team pumpkin this time of year, but I was craving some pumpkin bread, so that's what I'm going to make with you today. The first thing you'll want to do is start your oven and preheat it to 350 degrees. So I'm using these little mini pans. I am a Food Nanny fan and I had bought her little mini pans, but you can use a regular loaf pan. For the mini loaves, you don't have to cook this bread as long, but you can use a regular pan for this and you would just have to bake it for double the time. So I'm just taking my parchment paper and I'm cutting it so that it fits inside of my little pans so that I can pull the bread out easily. I know if you've made bread I have that has stuck. It is not very fun to spend all the time making something like this and then not have it turn out. So this just ensures that the bread turns out and you're able to get it out of the pan nicely. So I sprayed the pan before I put in the parchment paper so that it will stay in there nicely, and then I spray the parchment paper after I put it in the pan so everything is oiled nicely. Now we're going to mix up all of our dry ingredients for our pumpkin bread. You'll need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. You can add nutmeg if you want, but I did not add it because I don't have any, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now I'm just going to mix all of my dry ingredients up really well and make sure there's no clumps and just get it all combined in one mixture. Then we're going to set that aside and work on our wet ingredients. So we need 1 cup of canned pumpkin, 2 eggs, and since I'm using farm fresh eggs, I'm going to crack them into a separate bowl. And then when I cracked my second egg, it just opened up all over the counter, and that's farm fresh eggs for you. So I just got one of my scrapers and just scraped it up off of my stove. Don't worry, it was clean. I had just wiped everything down and made sure I got the rest of that second egg in the bowl. And then I come back and then I have to wipe everything down again because now I have egg everywhere. It happens. Cooking is not a clean process always, and it can sometimes get a little bit messy in the kitchen. Then you will need 1.5 cups of sugar. And then you'll need 1/2 cup of oil, but I used melted butter. Now you'll just whisk to combine all of your wet ingredients, and then we will add our dry ingredients to our wet ingredients and just mix and combine everything really well. Now, this is the point in which you could add chocolate chips or nuts or anything like that that you want in your bread. I chose to just make mine plain today. Now I'm just going to evenly divide all of this batter across all 4 of these little mini loaves. You will want to bake them in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes until a toothpick comes out with a little crumb on it. After it's been 30 minutes or until the pumpkin bread is done, you will want to take it out of the oven and let it rest for 10 minutes to cool. Since I wanted to drizzle icing over mine, I did not quite follow those directions. I went ahead and right away decided to drizzle some icing. So to make the icing for this one little loaf, I put about 1/4 cup of powdered sugar in this little pourable container and just a little bit of half and half. You could use milk or heavy cream, and I just mixed it until the consistency looked like icing, and then I just poured it over the bread. You may want to make a larger quantity of this if you are pouring it over a whole loaf. So I don't know what could get much better than some warm bread with some icing drizzled over it, but this was pretty good. I enjoyed this so much. I loved having the little mini loaf sizes. I cooled these off and put them in the fridge, and we were able to just heat one up for Sunday morning right before church and eat that, and it was just so good, and I really enjoyed these. I hope that you will also give this pumpkin bread a try, and I appreciate you stopping by and watching my video. See you in the next one. Bye.